Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the meeting of the Ward County Board of Elections to consider our last absentee ballots. Call this meeting to order, and let's begin with a roll call. And when you state your name, please indicate if you have any conflict of interest with the matters before us this afternoon. I do want to do the pledge first. Thank you, Ms. Powell. Please stand. Join me. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now it's official, and we will have roll call and indications of conflict of interest.
Holly Powell, no conflict.
Martin Carpenter, no conflict.
Bob Howell, no conflict.
Antoinette Kelly, no conflict.
Susan T. Adams, no conflict.
I think we're good. In that case, let's move on to the next item on the agenda, and we'll turn it over to the staff. And Carrie.
Okay, so first, we're gonna do our affidavit review pending, those ones that turned in a photo ID exception form with their absentee ballot. So I'm gonna pass these around for you all to review.
And we're just looking.
Yep, you can just check the form if you want. Yeah, it's just review.
So while we're doing this, the ballots that came in, did they arrive on election day? Did they arrive after election day?
Anything received after election day, we're not allowed to count.
Okay, so these are all that came in later on
By
election day.
7:30 PM election.
Okay.
That's what late means. Thanks.
We're doing these 4 affidavit reviews first.
Yes, that first sheet that you have.
I'm still confused. Was it election day?
Yes,
You say received on the 6th.
that's my date's name must be wrong, but they were all received with election day.
It's on the stamps. This one seems to say, does not say. Nothing else.
Yeah,
Maybe it is,
Yeah.
it's kind of vague.
Yeah.
They were all received on the
Okay, that's what was confusing.
one on the left-hand side is for the absentee supplementals, and the one on the right-hand side is the provision of sheet two.
Yes. They need to just, yeah. So you guys need to sign.
Okay, we would like to do a motion to approve, disapprove the affidavit review pending, then we'll move on to the acceptance.
Great, and my sense is that we can consider these as a batch. Is there a motion to that effect?
I move that we accept as the four that we just reviewed.
A second.
There's been further discussion. All those in favor of accepting, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And that's unanimous. Thank you.
Okay, so next we have the accepted one. I'm gonna have Susan read them off. There is one. I didn't highlight it for review, but I'd like you all to review it. He did not sign it, but he did cure it. Which is a process where we send them a letter and they send it back, so.
Just call out numbers.
I'll take the ones from you then.
Civilian 104, 125, 280, 281, 340, 370, 408, 413, 414, 453, 521, 522, 526, 532, 539, 556, 568, 578, military 13,
Except for that one.
military 14, military 31.
Okay. I'm gonna have to update the poll book in front of you then,
Okay.
because I must not scan that one in.
So there is a mill
Is
31.
the military 31 there?
Yes, it's right here.
Mhm.
So
There is the ballot.
I
that
will have
exists.
to add that one to the poll.
Do you want to proceed?
Yes.
Military 38, military 39, OVR 25, OVR 26, OVR 29, OVR 30.
Carrie, this list is generated by the machine.
by the computer, and I must have just not entered that one and is accepted, so my apologies. I'll get that in the system after this meeting, but
Just understanding the process.
Instead of what?
yes, yes. Okay, these are the spot checking ones for review. If you will review those and pass those down. And then I'm also divvying these up for you guys to check.
Oh, that's, okay, thank you. Great. Okay. Gotcha.
They're doing those with-
Okay, here's yours. Stuck on her saying. So they don't need to do these, those two, they don't.
No, they have their own little column.
Okay,
They won't fill in.
just spot check, okay. Check it, be sure that. Yeah. Did you just want us to keep these to open?
Yes, yeah. Right, split it evenly.
They're all cameras.
Or you can do that when you do those, however you wanna do it.
And these the four overseas that were duplicated.
No, you're not duplicating.
No, are these the four that are listed here?
Yes, yes.
Let's start tearing these open now.
One of these gonna give me a glove this time. I don't know where it is. Oh, they cleaned up.
I'll bring like a wrist knife and limb.
Okay.
I don't even know where we put that stuff,
It's been stabbed.
but I have to find it.
We make sacrifices for the board of elections and the voters of Moore County.
We'll be on at 6 o'clock next.
No, we don't wanna be.
Let's stay out of that.
Marty, are you trying to adjust to your glasses? Because I've never seen your glasses.
Yeah, I know, I just got them and I'm trying to work with them. They're progressive and I don't know why I got progressive glasses of all things. It just makes no sense.
I just see you going like this over here.
Didn't they have any conservative? glasses?
I know, I tried to get that. Trying to adjust to them, and they're not working like I want.
Okay, if we can have a motion to approve and then we can open.
What are we approving now?
All the ballots that Susan read off and you guys just reviewed.
That we spot check.
We didn't spot check it. You didn't pass them down here.
I thought, what did they
Were there
have?
4 or 5 to spot check?
Yeah?
You wanted us to find that?
I thought they had their package and we had our package.
We had, we all have to look at all of them.
All right, I thought it was a little bit different.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah, but they told us not to pass that.
For the military, it has like, that part, they didn't have.
Okay, so this is.
Okay, we got that.
Yeah. Do we have the page? Do we do it?
Oh, that's right, you're gonna start there. Go that way.
Was approved.
Start with that one this time. Yeah.
We can ask the extra one. That was what it was. That's okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I move that we accept the ones that we have done a spot check on. I second it.
Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving these, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And that's unanimous. Thank you.
Okay, now you may open.
Do you have a hazmat?
I don't know where.
Just hold your
I
breath.
just hold my breath.
I used to have my notes. I think
You're healing all right.
Yeah, we had a bunch of stuff back here and I don't know where my little kit went.
The, cleaning out.
Efficient cleaning team. All right, so that's on the open basically. So here, how do you want to separate the duplicates? Put
Yeah,
the
just,
bit full
yep.
size in one
I
stack.
get my knife out. I need to do that and I'll this guy start again.
And you want to feed it first? Oh, okay.
she will let you put the time
Then you get you first.
So not crossing the line.
not just gonna have to.
The official ballot or
Yes.
It said it's counted, but it didn't drop, so this is that one. This is the one
Pardon?
that was counted.
Yeah, good.
You want me to put it down there?
I'm in notes. After ballot. If anything, you can touch on those. Brooke lost that song.
Should I just so you want me to put the tapes?
Well, the count was 31, is that what everyone knows? So that's what's
when she got so she's gonna, take it down for the board to sign.
Here, well, I just read off of this while she takes it. So.
Oh.
It did.
Yeah, it looks like it got stuck to the.
It did. It actually, I was a little shocked.
That's why I was like, oh my god, that was weird.
I don't want to enter the code again if it's wrong. Now that we changed them, now on.
No, I do that after the meeting.
Oh, okay. So tomorrow, the provisional poll book, excuse me, absentee poll book like you signed the last time, I'll have that for you tomorrow. Along with the,
Do you need me to?
because they have to sign that, they have to do the supplemental absentee abstract as well, along with the tapes. It's on part B.
These people don't play.
And while you're up, have you printed the first picture you ever did?
Yeah, it's already signed.
Oh, that's right, they did
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I forgot they did both of them. Ready to move on?
Yes, ma'am.
So, moving on to provisionals. I'm gonna go through each category of reason why they voted provisional. I'd like for us to vote on the approval of the ones I recommend for approval or that you decide to approve, and then a motion to disapprove the ones that either I have recommended or you choose to disapprove. So we'll do 2 motions for each category potentially.
I would still by category first and then approve and disapprove.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so we're gonna start with ID not provided exception, natural disaster. This is one that we discussed at the last meeting. His house, he had a house fire, he does not have his ID. Do you guys need to review it again, or I recommend approval?
He checked the natural disaster and then he said he had a house fire.
Yes, and I'm wondering if he said I had a house fire and the poll worker checked that box, because it doesn't really apply, but I understand what they were trying to get at there.
And were we waiting for you to seek clarification?
No,
No, this was one no.
Okay, we just put it aside.
Yeah, we said that
Yes.
we accepted that, I think, kind of as a reason.
And that was preliminary, so
Yes,
I'd like us
preliminary.
to vote on that one again.
So clearly that's the only one, and you don't have any that you recommend not to be approved, because there's only one.
Yes,
Is
so
there a
I
motion?
recommend approval based on what you guys discussed at the last meeting.
Gotcha. Is there a motion to approve?
I move that we approve the ballot.
A second.
Second, discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So, unanimous. Thank you.
Okay, so the next category is ID not provided exception, reasonable impediment. We discussed 3 at the meeting on Friday that you all wanted to hear a little bit more information from the voter. All 3 of those came back and either got a photo ID from us or provided an alternate ID.
Okay.
Great.
So, based on that, I know I have 2 listed as pending, but based on that, I recommend all 5 be approved. And if you'd like to
Okay.
review those again, you're welcome to. I have them sitting right here.
Did- I'm sorry, did we?
Now, do you want to just review the 3 or all 5 of them?
What about the 2? I guess the 2 are the ones
two
that,
that are pending.
the 2 that are pending.
The 2 that are pending, you guys didn't want to see back. You were okay
Oh,
with
they
the
were-
exception.
Okay, okay, got it,
Gotcha.
got
Yes,
it.
I
Thank you. That's helpful.
apologize.
That's got it.
It kind of implied we wanted to consider it further.
Well, and that's why I put preliminary approval, because
Mhm.
Okay, got it.
That's great. All right, is there a motion to approve this group of 5?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Thank you. Smooth so far.
sorry, I gotta keep up with my balance over here at the same time. Okay, moving on to ID not provided, no exception form, return with ID. I recommend the top four for approval because they returned with their ID.
Do you want a motion?
I'd like a motion for the approved ones and then we'll do the
I can look
disapproved.
at the one.
I move that we approve the ones that came back with their ID.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so those four are approved. Carry.
Okay, obviously, I think it's 8 of them left. The last 8 I recommend for disapproval because they did not come back with their ID.
There was no exception form. You've contacted them all?
I don't have to contact
You
them.
don't have any contact. And why did you put the thing about the have a ID?
Because even though it was ID not provided, that was the reason they voted provisionally. It wasn't photo ID they didn't provide, it was HAVA ID proving their residence address.
Same day registration for early voting.
Oh, yes, that was the same day registration, so they were required to show that HAVA ID.
So that's one.
Oh, wait a minute, they did show photo ID?
Yes, but it was
It
not,
wasn't like a driver's
Yeah.
license that would confirm their address? So they had nothing that would confirm their address?
correct.
And then if we disapprove all those,
Second.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor of disapproving, please say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Okay, next category is incorrect party. We're gonna have fun with this one. So I recommend 1 for complete approval. She actually had 2 voter records, and they weren't merged, and the one they pulled up had the incorrect party, but the most recent registration had the correct party. So I recommend that one for approval.
it was like a system error that the previous one hadn't been merged.
Yeah,
I move that we accept that one.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's approved. Now, partial.
okay, this one's good. So partial, what it is they voted a party ballot they were not eligible for, but we still have to count their nonpartisan races because they were eligible to vote those. So I recommend those 14 for partial approval and duplication.
Right. For clarification. This is not a criticism, just a question for information. How is it that they would get the wrong party ballot?
That's the wording in the provisional system. It's not that they got the wrong one, they got one they were not eligible to vote. So say you're a registered Democrat, you show up to the polls, but you want to vote the Republican ballot, we're gonna vote you provisionally and give you that Republican ballot. But if we don't find that party change before the deadline, it'll partially count.
All right, so one could vote provisionally and then change party between voting day and say today? No.
I haven't changed it yet, it will change their party going forward though.
Right.
But not retro.
Like,
I
So
see.
that's why we don't count the races that were partisan
Gotcha.
on that ballot, we just count the nonpartisan.
Do they know this?
No.
Ahead of time,
No, when they left, did they realize that all of their votes would not be counted?
Not
They're
all.
usually told that it's up to, it goes before a board.
yeah, that's
So
kind
they-
of how we.
So they knew
Yeah.
there was a question. It's not-
Because we
okay.
can't say whether or
Even
not,
the ones that I know are going to be approved, I have to say it's gonna go before our board.
Right.
Okay,
That's-
that was.
They
Because
knew-
I don't make the final decision.
They were
That was my
voting a
question.
provisional ballot. They knew they weren't registered with the parties that they
That
asked
they
for.
voted
So they knew that.
Right, I was just.
for. Right.
And then
so
they're
there's-
told the board will decide which
Now,
votes will count.
and I will say, once I finalize everything, all my comments and the reasoning goes public to them, so they'll be able to see that reasoning.
And I make a motion that we accept your recommendation on these partial ballots.
That's all the way down to, through the second to the last one,
Yes.
where it says working. Got it.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
And it's unanimous.
Okay, the last one. I recommend for disapproval because what happened was she showed up to vote, apparently received a ballot style that she did not want. I think she was unaffiliated and was given a nonpartisan ballot, if I'm correct. She voted it and she put it in the machine and then told the poll workers that that wasn't the ballot she wanted. So they let her vote provisionally the ballot style she wanted. However, we need to disapprove it because then she will have voted twice.
Twice.
We cannot pull that other ballot. It's,
Once she does the, basically the right way, and it goes in the machine, then we're not getting the business of.
we can't.
She
should have said something before she put it in the machine.
No.
Right.
We can't pull, you don't know.
No way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I move that we disapprove this ballot.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor of disapproving this, this case, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's unanimous. Thank you.
And one note on that one that we just went through, all those partials, I'm gonna have you guys duplicate, but I figured we'd wait until after all of this.
Okay.
Okay, next category is incorrect precinct. These voters, either had to move or just showed up at the wrong precinct. However, because we didn't have districts on this election, everyone received the correct ballot style, so I recommend all of them for approval.
That goes all the way
That's
through.
on this.
That's just this thing, and the next
This
two,
page, right?
yes.
I move that we approve all of these ballots.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of approving these ballots, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous.
And their precinct will have changed now.
Yes, everything will be updated going forward for everyone. Moving on to the next one, no record of registration. So the first two I will recommend for approval. The first young lady, she had an attempt to register. I found it in our archived records. And I was told that we can't accept that as an attempt to register from the state board, so I recommend approval on that one. And then the second one, I believe it was just the name was typed in wrong, so it was a poll worker error. They didn't think they were registered, so I recommend that one for approval as well.
Okay, I move that we accept those two ballots.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's unanimous. That's two. Thanks.
Okay, and please let me know if there's any you'd like to look at or discuss. I have them all right here, but the remainder of the no record of registration, it was either received after the deadline or I found no attempt to register in Moore County for those voters. And you'll see some of them, I found registrations in other counties, some of them I did not, but,
What was the deadline to register?
February 9th, I believe it was.
So most of these are either not registered at all or registered after the deadline, with the exception of ineligible to vote. Is that correct? So-
Yes, that voter, they reside in another county. And they said they did, they provided the address in that other county, so they just were passing through and didn't think they'd be able to vote, so they
Gave it a shot.
I move that we disapprove all of the ones listed for the reasons that you
listed on the form.
I know there's a lot.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of disapproving these, aye?
Aye.
Aye. That's unanimous. Thank you.
Okay, so the next category is previously removed. If they have maintained the same residence address from their removed record and they were removed for, like confirmation not returned or confirmation returned undeliverable, then we are allowed to recommend those for approval. However, if it was not, an address reason for that removal, they have to re-register. So if they moved out of county, moved out of state, felony convictions, things like that, they are required to re-register. So with that being said, the first 5 I recommend for approval because they maintained the same residence address and I found no out-of-county registration. The one you'll see was a poll worker error, the name was a little bit different. So she had re-registered under this name, not her maiden name. So they pulled up the removed record there, so she should be.
Right.
And then the other one was a deceased voter that I removed in error. I removed the junior, not the senior. So this should be,
It was alive after all.
yes. That's only my second one.
No, that's right.
I think that's good.
The junior senior things.
I move that we approve the 5 that are recommended for approval.
Second.
I'm sorry. I was counting on it.
She's 5. 5.
That are recommended for
Approval.
approval. I'm sorry. I was getting that. I'm sorry. Thank you. Is there a second?
It's already been seconded.
Well, is there any discussion?
Hello?
I'm blanking out at that point. Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor of the 5 approvals, please say aye.
Aye.
Not approved. You will see most of them were removed for moving, did not re-register. There was one gentleman who told us he is a Canadian citizen.
Okay.
So. So I recommend those 7 for not approval. Is there any questions, comments, concerns?
We're not talking about the last one.
No, we'll go on to that one afterwards.
I move we disapprove the 7 identified.
Second that.
Any discussion? Right. If you agree that we should remove these or not approve these, please say aye.
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 The ones, and now the ones, so. Are any of these 7 now registered in Moore County?
They will be once
But not the Canadian citizens?
well, no. But yes, once, and this goes for all the provisionals, even the no record of registration, the ones we disapprove, all of them. I process their applications so their voter record will either be created or updated, whichever is needed.
Even
going
that,
forward.
even that one that says address in Chatham County? I mean, was that just?
Well, no,
voter-
obviously, if they have an address outside the county, they won't, but everybody else who's eligible to be registered here will.
Thank you.
Moving on to the pending.
Yes.
Tawana has the most knowledge about this, so I was going to let her present to the board.
Great, thank you.
So the state has us do a geocode cleanup. And so on my geocode cleanup, right along the edge of Moore County and Harnett County, I have some houses that are in a very jurisdiction dispute. with Moore County and Harnett County. And so we get a shape file from the state, and I have to balance everything out. And so there were some folks that I knew transferred them over to Harnett, because looking at the shape files that the state sends me, they're saying they don't belong to me. This is one of about 7 of those houses that was in that situation. After one of the gentlemen kind of disputed it, I was told to pull these people back from Harnett County and put them back into Moore County. The one gentleman, he never registered back into Harnett County, but everyone else had done so. So I had to send a letter to the 7 or the 6, telling them that you are no longer would be listed as Harnett County, but you need to come back to Moore County. And if you're no longer within Moore County, you would have to get re-registered. This happened last year, about February-ish, when I sent all this information out. One gentleman did come back, and he actually went through early voting, and I was able to give his profile information over there to the early voting and ag. He did same-day registration, he got re-registered. This lady showed up at election day, and she tried to vote. I have her file where it did state that if you needed to re-register, if you were removed, but she did get removed from Moore County to Harnett County, she was supposed to re-register back with us, but she chose not to. And it had been over a year when I sent the information to her. So, wasn't really quite sure what to do with her, because it was a little drawn out between myself and some higher up. So I said, well, I will just present the information to the board and just allow to see what the board wanted to do with the situation.
This situation was no fault of the person, correct? It was a clerical, it was jurisdictional, something era above, other than her, correct?
I don't know, because what happened when I looked into it, the state board is saying that she doesn't belong to us. So I did what the state board was saying that I should do. The county is saying that they want her because of some gentleman's agreement. Oh, because you do real estate, okay. So you understand. So the county is saying that she does belong to us concerning a gentleman's agreement. Well, we don't go by gentleman's agreement. I go by the census line or the county line. And the county line was shifted wrong. And that's what I looked at. But the county is like, because of the land, they're like, she belongs to us. And I'm like, well, I have to have proof to say that she belongs to us, because when I'm looking at census boundary lines and whatever else, she's out of my census and the county boundary line. And so they was like, well, can we put her into the line until we get that corrected? And I was like, okay. When do you plan on getting that corrected? And they was like, well, we'll just get that corrected. And then they asked me, well, how come I made this change without, and Ms. Glenda and those that were within the office never made the change, why did I touch it? So then I referred to Ms. Glenda and I referred to Angela here, and they said that they had the same issue. It was a kind of a battle going back and forth, trying to get the lines corrected and not really ever getting an answer, so they just left it alone. But there was no notation in these records saying to just leave these particular houses alone until it finally got corrected. So then when I reported that back, and I said, okay, then what I will do from this day forward is put this information so that if anybody was to go and do these geocode updates, they would see the notation that there is an issue with these houses along these lines and not to touch it until the county decides to fix the lines when they said that they would fix them.
But the county hasn't fixed a line in over a year? Is that what you're saying? And they don't plan on fixing it, or do they?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, it needs to be done before the general election.
Yeah.
The geocode needs to be,
I mean,
There's
everything
no-
is fixed, that the county has fixed it to their liking.
but not according to the state board.
The state board.
Then we have to go by the state board as far as I'm concerned.
The county has fixed it.
Gentlemen's agreement?
No,
I'm confused.
the county has fixed it.
What is your position as to the county they should be voting in?
Ma'am,
What is your recommendation for what county they should be registered in?
what we do is the state uses the geocoded shapefile, and it tells me whether you're in the right congressional district. It tells me all of that.
And which one are they in?
So for me, it told me that they were in Harnett County.
Harnett.
And that is why I transitioned them out of Harnett County, because that's what my information is saying. The county is saying that they don't use those shape files. And so that the state didn't have, the geocoded surveyors didn't have jurisdiction over the county.
I'm still confused. Which county do you think they should be voting in?
Harnett or Moore?
Where do they pay taxes?
But see, we don't go
We
by
don't go by
their
taxes.
taxes.
I know, but which county do you think they should be voting in?
From what I looked at,
Yeah.
where they rest their head at is where they should vote at. So from the line, it showed them in Harnett County.
Yes.
And are some of them registered in Harnett?
No,
None of them are?
no. What, until I moved them into Harnett County.
And you haven't done that?
No, I did do that, but then I was told to put them back into Moore County.
I'm sorry, by whom? By the state board?
No,
By the county.
by the county.
Okay, I would
Who
assume,
Which county?
Moore
Moore
County,
County?
County told her to-
Who tells you that? Commissioners?
no, my county manager told me.
The county manager.
is the state going to fight this?
No, the state did not fight that. When I told the state what was taking place, the state was just like, oh, you got your hands tied. And a lot of other states, county boards were in the same predicament, where we were basically fighting to try to get what the state board wanted us to do. And so they kind of just threw their hands up and kind of let us fight this battle on our own. So some counties decided just not to do anything at all.
All right,
So these 7 people will be voting not in their geocode in the future, but in the Moore County, not in the one they're technically supposed to be in, and everybody's happy with that.
At that point, yeah.
It didn't look like we're happy.
I'm not- we're not having-
No, I agree with you. I don't.
Well, is this the only one of the people elected who tried to vote in Moore County?
This individual, yes, was the only one that voted because that was affected because she didn't re-register back.
But another person of the 7 did re-register and did vote.
Correct.
Of the
In
7
Moore
that did in Moore
Even though they
County.
sleep in Orange County. Okay, but they followed what they were told to do,
Yes,
registered in Moore, voted in Moore. Okay.
And this person didn't register.
correct.
And is this when earlier you were talking about you alerted them about a year ago
Yes.
of this and they didn't?
So she had.
Two separate
notice-
issues. That's what I mean.
The notice she received about a year ago was you need to re-register in Moore.
Yeah.
And she never did.
Correct.
Got it. All right.
So from here on in, for the general election,
She's already registered.
they're going to be Moore County people.
Correct.
And her
Okay.
provisional ballot now registers her.
Correct.
Okay.
So our decision is to recount her ballot in this election.
Correct.
All right.
But she didn't register.
So somebody's going to make a motion in just a second.
And I move we disapprove this ballot.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any further discussion?
Does this have to be unanimous?
I defer to the direct, I don't know,
They never stated that.
for approval of provisional ballots, okay. I'm certain, make a note that I need to find out for myself.
What was the motion?
The
She
motion,
disapproved because she didn't register.
so,
And the other ones did.
And one did, yes.
One did.
Yes.
And you don't know what the other ones did.
No, because I've been checking, no one else has.
But they could have voted in Harlem.
They could have, but I don't know if they did or not. Because when it happened, they would call and ask, did anyone register? And I was like, and I would check, pull them up, I said, no,
and they did not.
no one had. This was the first time out of that time span that one actually decided to come back and register, and it came through early voting.
How do we propose, force a correct geocode be put into the system that everybody agrees on?
You would have to go through a hearing through the geocoded survey to have them look at the line to correct the line. But in doing that, it's the possibility that some of the land could be taken away from Moore County, which I think that's what they're afraid of, and you can lose tax revenue.
And is that our responsibility to move forward on that if we chose to?
That's not our responsibility.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, great, Bill is a decent question. All right, is there further discussion or questions for clarification? Okay. So, and we believe that it does not have to be a unanimous decision, but in any event, so it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of disapproving this provisional ballot, please say aye.
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 All right, all those opposed?
No.
Okay. It is disapproved, 3-2 majority. Sticky.
Okay, next category, unreported move. All of these people moved within Moore County. It was not, they didn't come from another county, moved to another county, it was all within Moore County. And they all received the correct ballot style, so I recommend them all for approval.
Thank you very much.
I move we approve the ballots as identified.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And that's unanimous.
Okay,
Wow, thank you, Carrie.
don't thank me yet.
You had fun with this, didn't you?
Because I had to thank you for that one because I might not thank you for that. Wow.
I don't know what he was.
I figured me and Annie can open those right quickly since some of those we all there doing this.
Is this information about the provisionals, does that have to stay here, is that private, confidential?
I don't think there's anything, because that's I don't think there's anything on there that's PII.
I'll leave it. It'll be in the minutes.
That's why I want that thing.
Do you want my notes?
You can.
No, I got them.
Okay.
I've been keeping them, but I said if I had to give this to them.
Okay.
You can take the state
I'll
time.
be here
Put it
for.
on the back
So
of it.
these are the incorrect party that we need to duplicate, but we are only duplicating the nonpartisan races.
School board, yeah.
Okay.
And commissioner. Oh, right, yeah, commissioner.
Yeah, this no submissions.
So what you're gonna do, you're gonna open the envelope, take out the ballot, duplicate it, fold the original, put it back in the envelope, and please stick this in the envelope as well, but don't fold it so that it sticks out. Does that make sense? So that I can
Okay.
keep them together for my sanity.
Is there a provision for someone else checking our work?
We're
Or
gonna
are we
do
just going to be so?
Republican,
a
Democrat.
person from each party.
They don't have to be
That's a good
double checked, however, if you guys want to swap afterwards and double check.
It's not, I'm not trying to invent more stuff to do, for us to do, so, and I think we can probably be pretty. Cheryl, you can check mine.
Do you want to mark?
Oh,
Oh, I'll mark this.
They were
one.
opening this and taking the valve down.
Well, they're not, well, stuck really.
You need to cut that open. I'll leave it. Okay, and then we'll go.
Do they have anything?
They have to match, yes, that's different. You gotta put this stuff on there.
I know, I'm just thinking, does that have to match?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, because they're only.
Okay.
I can do that. I think I can probably do this. They're doing that, and I'll just flip those.
You might want to tap. Hold it, so,
Of course, those are gonna be the real balance over here.
the other one, so, hold this. We're breaking it. So pick it up.
Here, you want me to put that, you put it,
I'm sorry, what?
let's pass it in. Oh, this is, Carrie.
Well, that one's right, but I'll write the precinct out, which is like, well, incorrect part, yeah, I should be correct. Yes, that's
Well,
fine. Yes. I forgot, yes.
I need to
Oh, that's why we're only marking these. Okay, I got it.
Because we're down, just do these.
That's true, but we're not doing this. There we go. Okay, so here.
You're gonna write the precinct,
Okay,
or do you want us to?
you don't have to, I'll do that after if you don't do that. Oh, I got that.
So, okay, he's gonna help me with this one, so this one should be awesome.
I believe I can handle that
This
one.
is.
Okay. So we need to mark this one. Stamp this one where you voted.
Yeah, so you get, start getting caught there.
Thank you.
Oh, that's enough.
Yes.
because I didn't vote on them.
So it's
If there's not. It's just. If it's.
This is the primary. Yeah, probably. Oh, okay, okay. You didn't go back. Speak it to the mic.
Get chilly.
Okay, the other two are right here. Yeah, so.
Need you to verify behind you. Okay.
I'll just do one at a time.
Thank you. Is it? You don't like that?
The time is 6:10. Today is Thursday. Year is 2000.
Very responsible.
It's PHB2.
That might be right, but just when you're looking at it, try to look at the front.
Oh, sorry.
Just,
Could be wrong.
it could be. I mean, that
So
one
it's
was.
what that one says.
Yes, where it says precinct
Or
register.
up here.
That's where they voted. This is where they should be voting. Which it's the same for this one. I'm just saying, I'd look at the front because it could be different.
Okay. Seven, I might be. Boy, these are easy to mix up. It's just like that.
Nobody told me, so that's
I'll come with you.
Don't bring it. Normally I put the original ballots that have been duplicated in a separate bag. But since they're provisionals, I don't want to because I need the envelope.
It's not you.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I'm just marking. It's your thing. I forgot to mark.
I just want to make sure.
You got a plan.
Right now.
That's fine. I mean, I'm not, again, I'm not trying to
No,
make anything on this.
you don't show up till 1:30.
I'm from 11 on
Let's talk
till
about it
you're
when we're done, so we all hear what you're saying.
about our meeting time
Yep.
on front.
Give me a minute.
Oh,
So we're done. Yes.
These duplicate two more ballots.
I mean, that's.
That's right.
Oh my God. Okay.
These are express votes. and they're not-
Oh.
Here, these are finished now.
Okay.
Right?
No
Yep.
selection, so we're good.
What?
Oh, you have to do that.
Did you fill those in?
I thought we were only supposed to be doing.
No, I'm sorry, these need to be completely duplicated.
Oh.
Sorry. Because the whole ballot's not going through the
Yeah.
sheet, that's why.
It's saying invalid express vote card, I don't know why.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to get. Yeah. It's not taking it.
She seemed to have a little more personality.
That's it.
You gotta set your alarm to come back tomorrow.
This is it.
Okay.
Did you get it?
Yeah, May.
That's when it gets.
So can we be here this meeting or, you know, this is a meeting. Already put money out for
Yeah,
a trip.
Right.
More than a weekend. I don't know, it's
Are you really?
probably the hotel or.
Have you been to that?
Oh, I lived there. So I
Oh, of course.
For a zillion years. So I was zoomed in on the canvas.
Right.
And then it looks like I didn't sign on Tuesday when I came back. So I was zoomed in. So at least you're gonna get a verbal from me.
One more.
I probably won't see you at this point because it's bored.
this is the one where we can make decisions.
That's true. I guess I can vote.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. I guess I have to do that. I'm voting on this stuff.
And
2 Zoom meetings.
you get to
Because
hear
it's
all these
folded right on that bar.
interesting personal stories.
It's folded on that bar.
Why something didn't work.
It is, the stories are interesting, yeah.
So then they folded. I think if they would have folded it.
Not on that board for the table.
Carry that on. You got both those duplicated
Yes.
ones? That should be, and I think 61 is the total.
Okay.
Hey,
Hold on, I gotta think.
We don't deal with our things. You're not looking. Okay.
Martin, do your eyes bother you without even your glasses on? Because I know.
I can see stuff pretty well, but watching when I'm driving, especially at night, I would hope the new glasses were gonna be better than they are for distance, and watching TV, it helps some. It's just not as clear as I'd like for tonight. I even had it, first set, I said, no, this is not working right, so they did a check, maybe checked the prescription a little bit and modified it so it's better than it was, but
I'm missing something.
getting old person eyes quickly.
my, I've got
I was like, my
breast
number's
too,
getting
and
bigger
so-
actually.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with distance. It's up close that I can do, but I can read pretty well without one.
John, can we go over the times on Friday? Tomorrow.
Okay, yes.
Just to make sure. So tomorrow, here at 11
Mhm.
for the canvas and then followed immediately. Yeah, you can't start till 12:30.
Well, I didn't know how long it was gonna take,
Mhm.
but I didn't want to try to be sitting here like the last time. We got done so early, I was just like.
So the meeting at 12:30 is where we're gonna talk about the early voting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
And will you also have the names of the poll workers by then, or what's that date?
No, ma'am, because I have to send it out to the party chairs first.
So does everybody have to be retrained or only new people?
For early voting or?
For the May,
For the
For the
May.
May
people have to be retrained for the
We're gonna
May,
give a refresher class.
okay,
We would like to give a refresher
Mhm.
class.
okay.
It won't be as extensive as this last training, but we would like to do a refresher class.
Are there particular issues that have come to our, or your attention that you might focus on in that discussion?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Good. I thought there might be.
Like for early voting, they just can't, same day registration.
Have both races been challenged or just one?
Just one.
Oh, so the auditor's race was not challenged.
Oh, no, that was,
So it's the
What about the lieutenant governor?
lieutenant governor.
it is.
And the both, and there is
So,
two.
so it's just the lieutenant governor and,
Auditor.
auditor race. The one which it didn't affect Moore County, he decided not to contest, which was District Congressional District 6. He decided not to.
On the congressional side, but statewide, the governor and the auditor are the two that everybody's going to be voting for.
At this moment,
So I guess conceivably once,
Lieutenant
That's
Governor,
right.
yes.
conceivably once all of these certified results are, should make a difference, but
Somebody may change their mind when all is said and done.
okay. Not when we call it this voting.
Or not.
To our numbers.
Hmm?
Balance?
I'm trying to make sure.
You trying to read that now? Okay, what does she know?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay. I wrote it. Didn't read it either. Oh, no, that's you. Cause some of that pertains to you, but some of it doesn't.
59 plus 16, 75, right?
I don't do that. Yes.
So yes,
It
we
is.
should be good.
So
So,
we
well, that's
balance.
why I just did it over there, but, yeah, 75.
that's the way to do it.
I just said you, I don't do that. I don't know.
No, she had me buy her a calculator, and she will not do it in her head.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I would take that pencil. You do too.
And she
You
will
can
take
take
the
it
easy
easy.
one.
I know my weaknesses. Where? Math
So
is,
One of the best calculator schools.
this is
Another
it,
school in New
because
York.
she has to,
All schools.
upload everything and I have.
Math
to
teacher,
file
who
everything.
retired from another career. A lot of these small farm schools are something, one guy on the faculty, PhD. They're in a faculty meeting, research aid.
Mr. Chairman, according to our executive, Mr. Chairman.
He had a calculator, so this would be probably middle 70s.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
So, so I just was meeting.
Carrie, what number did you get?
And then he had a slide board.
75? That's
Just
what
like
I
you
did.
do a problem on
I'm
calculator.
probably gonna do
And then you
that.
check it, slide board. See what works.
I remember doing this, and then I had a circular slide. It was a pretty good size, like a nano. I loved it, and then I lost it somewhere in school.
Well, the conditions are correct, 'cause that's what I.
Gentlemen,
Gentlemen.
gentlemen,
Oh.
we're ready to.
All right.
I know you.
So I got
We
75.
balanced, we're ready to go. So she's gonna close it out.
All right.
And then we're gonna sign it.
And you told me we were done. You
Well,
didn't
I
say-
mean,
you didn't sign
The hard
it.
part was done.
She was excited about that, but, yeah.
You said to me, we can sign tomorrow, we're done. You can sign tomorrow. Cause I have to get the reports and everything together for you tomorrow. That's fine.
well, once those come out, I'm gonna sort them.
Okay.
File them later. Yeah.
So you're buying us lunch tomorrow?
Hmm.
I know. Do we put our orders up there in the middle of the front of Does that mean Bob is buying lunch?
I'll put this one.
It could be my turn to get the. Yeah.
You trying to get them points, Marty.
I know.
Got to be in an early stage for it.
What are you trying to get them on?
Yeah, I got my birthday dessert last night at Outback, and I need to go to Chili's again.
Lonnie, you wanna tell us about what you found out about that other county?
Yeah, Ms. Howard had sent an article of Pender County, how many, 13 precincts?
I don't remember how many precincts. It was a lot.
So their IT actually does their laptops for them. They don't do their laptops themselves like we do. And a lot of counties actually do that, which we don't do that.
Mm.
And so they actually have older laptops, and we've actually experienced this ourselves here. Where, so to put the SIEM system onto the laptops, you have to make sure that all of the updates are completely cleared off of the laptop. And sometimes one of the laptops will hang itself with an update. And sometimes it will say, okay, shut down, and it will shut down, and you think that it's clear, and then all of a sudden it will say it needs an update. And so they thought that their laptops were clear of the updates. And so when they went to the precincts, all of a sudden the machine tried to update right in the middle of their election time, which I was surprised that they tried to do.
They would have had to be connected to the internet, you know?
They were.
They were?
They have, now there are some places where they do connectivity. And you can do that if you have a good VPN secure network. We don't do that. Some places do, but you have to really lock your secure internet down. And so if it tries to connect and it doesn't update, it will shut your program down. And I think that's what happened. It shut their program right down.
So they had to use their paper.
So they had to use their paper poll book and all their precincts went down. And so, they went to their backup poll books like they're instructed to do, and they were able to vote their people. I think there was some things they could have tweaked, because instead of sliding it into their machinery, they used the emergency bin, which I didn't understand why they did that.
Yeah, why couldn't they have used the tablet?
I don't know.
Because really, you want to talk about the ATVs.
Exactly, and so they used their emergency bin, and I guess it was to keep count with the book and the tabulation. I'm not quite sure why, and that is what kind of gave everybody a scare. And so they manually kind of checked back and forth to make sure that they had everybody. And so basically they just need new laptops, really, to make sure that that issue doesn't happen again.
It just sounded like.
Oh, I mean, that would nightmare. Because they have a certain, they have a certain amount of time to get everything up and running before they have to go into provisional voting or extended voting. And I guess they just,
Oh, right.
so,
Well, they've been trying to get new laptops from their county commissioners. Now they've got a pretty good argument for it.
yes, they do. It's not that big, though. It's not that many precincts. So, I thought that's what
Yeah.
But there's one in.
I mean, this is.
Yeah. Correct policy. I don't stand on disapproval.
Oh. No, I'm sorry. I really thought we could leave a while ago.
I know.
So I'm sorry.
You've been, you still did. I still wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't gonna go there.
Susan wanted to know why she didn't have an envelope.
Because her stuff, I don't know what happened in finance. You and Marty's stuff seems to be right, and I always have a time with you three. So I don't get the
My
issue.
stuff gets mailed to me. I haven't had any problems with that.
Well, I have to call finance tomorrow because your address, you go through, what's that thing called, HR, for the, your stuff should be in the system, and if, you see where your address looks like, right? It just says Carthage.
Right.
I don't know. So I have to see why that's in there like that. You can't never mail it. If I don't catch it, or they send it
So,
out.
I'd be serious, man.
Thank you for catching it. Well, I know. I don't never catch it.
Would you like a motion to adjourn?
I would love a motion to adjourn.
I so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Oh,
All in favor, say
I
aye.
thought you said second.
I thought you did too.
I'm not gonna second the motion.
Okay.
I'm wielding the gavel as soon as we say aye.
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 We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Tomorrow at one.
She stays awake for all this. I never credit.